This is how I would go about creating your collage. So to begin with, you're going to create a new document. I have this in another video, but I just want to make sure you're in the right spot. I'm going to create a new document. That was not the right one. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to change this to inches. I'm going to make this 8 by 10. I'm going to change the resolution right here to 100. So this is 8 inches by 10 inches. If you want to flip it the other way, like this will make it taller than it is wide. If you want to go the opposite way, you can click this. And we can always change this afterwards, so just let me know which way you want to go. I don't care. Either way, I'm going to do create. All right, so now because this is at 100 pixels per inch, you may notice when you zoom in, it'll look kind of pixelated. When you're zoomed in at more than 100%, it is going to start to blur a little bit. Don't worry about that. I don't want the machines to crash, so I'm going to go ahead and do it at a lower resolution, and hopefully that'll make it where the machine doesn't crash. All right, so this is the process you're going to go through, and I'm going to do several of these just to get you started. What you're going to do is you're going to open up the first image that you want to use. So I saved mine somewhere else, but let me see where I have it. I just grabbed a couple random pictures. So I think I did. There we go. I'm going to open that one. And then what I'm going to do is this. Inside of this image, I'm going to go in and I'm going to select the subject. So I grab the quick select. I do select subject. This is on a flat background, so it's pretty good. I'm going to click on mask. So basically, I don't care about doing a really super clean version of this yet. I'm just going to start with the basics. Now what I want to do is I don't want to just copy and paste this. I want to drag the entire layer over and drop this in here. Now this is huge. Before I end up changing the size of this, I want you to do this. Right click in the empty area of the layer and convert it to a smart object. What this is going to do is this will let you scale it larger or smaller and you won't lose any quality. So now the next thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that I name this the correct layer. So you're going to look at the assignment sheet. This one happens to be visit. There's a building of a city I want to visit. And then now I'm going to transform. Command T to transform, Command 0 to zoom out. I'm going to grab a corner and I'm going to shrink this down. I'm not going to worry about how big I make it right now because I can always change this later. And I'm just going to turn that visibility off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another photo and I'm going to repeat the process over and over like this. And then eventually I'll piece it all together to make it look the way that I want it to look. So let me grab this next one. Got this tree. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to do select subject. Now this one's going to take a bit more work because it's going to grab a lot of the blue, but I'm not going to worry about that at this stage. I'm just going to do select subject and I'm going to go ahead and mask it. Now, if I want to clean this up, what I can do is I can start to come in and kind of clean up these edges, making sure that I'm on the mask. I can paint with black. So I just pressed B for brush. I'll paint with black and that hides this. There's other ways. Trees are tricky because of the lighting coming through here. Same thing like the Eiffel Tower and other stuff. I will show you if you want help on how to get this done a bit quicker. I can do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this whole entire layer, including the mask, and I am going to drop it into the correct file, which I think is this one. There we go. And I'm immediately going to right click in the empty space and convert it to a smart object. This one I'm going to put as a goal because it's a tree in Africa. That's somewhere I want to go. I'm going to go ahead and transform. That's Command T. And I'm just going to shrink that down. I'm going to temporarily hide that. And I'm going to repeat that process for each of the items. And then I can start to figure out how do I want to build it? Do I want to mask things off on here? So if I wanted to mask off parts of this to have something else show up, then I'll start playing around with different adjustment layers if I want to change the way that that one looks. So I just made a clipping mask. If I wanted to darken that thing up, or if I decided I wanted to add another clipping mask to change the color and decide I want to make that something. I can clip that in there. So you'll start to set something up like this. Later on, I'll show you how to organize your layers inside of a group if you're doing multiple items. So I will do that in another video. But the key idea is this. Again, just for repetition, open, find the file you want to use, go ahead and select subject, mask it. And see, that's kind of messed up. So I'll go back in later and clean this one up, or I can go right now and clean it up to get rid of these edges. I'm not going to do this in the video, but we'll just pretend I actually went through, cleaned this whole thing up, and it's beautiful. I'm going to drag that one over to the collage and immediately change this to, not a clipping mess, sorry, convert to smart object. I'm going to change the name of this. This is going to be value 1. Make sure you look at the assignment sheet so you name these correctly. If they're not named correctly, you will lose points. It's easy points to earn, so definitely do that. I'm going to resize, decide what I'm going to do with that one later. Maybe I'll tuck him behind the building or something. And if I wanted to put him behind the building, just add this mask. I'm going to command click on this layer and go back to my mask. And now it looks like he's hidden behind the building. So we'll talk about how to kind of piece everything together and clean it up and stuff later, and I can help you one-on-one with that. But the idea is get your image. As soon as you get your image, go ahead and do the masking. Clean up your mask, make it look clean, and then drag the entire layer over to your collage, name it, and then right-click and convert it to a smart object. That's going to be the repetitious process.